All right, ladies and gentlemen. So today you're going to need two things when you begin. You're going to need a ruler, and that ruler should have inches and centimeters or millimeters. But today we're just going to use the inches part. So make sure you have a ruler that says inches. So this one has it. This one also. So this one it says centimeters. That means this is the metric side, and on this side it says inch. Also, notice that at the end of most rulers, the end of the ruler is not where you start measuring, it's where the first line is. So here's where you'd start on this ruler, and here's where you'd start on this ruler. On the one on the page here, this is where you'd start, where the 0 is, not at the edge of the ruler. So that's important when you measure. Don't start at the edge of the ruler if that's not where the ruler begins. Some rulers may be cut that way, but just start from the first line where 0 should be. So on this ruler it's here, on this ruler it's here, on this ruler it's here. Okay? So we're gonna look at length today. The other thing that's useful to have is a sharp pencil. So have a sharp pencil. If you don't have a ruler, you can cut out the edge of the page here to help do this assignment. This is an inch ruler. If I lay down my ruler here, it measures it's the same. So here's 1 inch, here's 2 inches, here's 3 inches, and there they are. So if you don't have a ruler, you can cut out the edge of the page here to do your thing. So what you're going to do here is you're going to measure length to each of the nearest ½ inch and ¼ inch. When you look at my ruler here, here is where the 0 is, here is where the 1 is. In between those is the half. Okay? In between each half, in the very middle between the 0 and the half here is the ¼ inch. Okay, so this is a quarter, this is a half, this is 3/4, this is a whole. Okay, so on this ruler, each tiny little mark is what we call a 16th. Each mark that's this length is what we call an 1/8. Each mark that's this long is a quarter. The one that's almost to the end on this ruler is the half. Here's an 1/8, here's a 16th, here's a quarter, here's an 1/8, and when it meets the whole line, that's a whole. On this ruler, it's very similar. So when the mark is this long, that's the whole inch. When it's slightly shorter, that's a half. When it's shorter than that, on this ruler, there are no quarters. There are only 8ths. So this is an 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. And then this short one is a 16th. So I have to know on this ruler, and you may on yours as well, that 2/16ths, or I'm sorry, 2/8ths here, which is 4/16ths, 1, 2, 3, 4/16ths, or 1 2/8ths is the same as 1/4. So that part is important. Okay, it's important that you know that 2/8ths is a quarter, and every 2/8ths is a quarter. So 1 2 is a quarter, 1 2 is another quarter, 1 2 is another quarter, 1 2 is another quarter. 4 quarters make a whole. That's why 4 is an inch. Okay, so I'm going to use my little white ruler here. Measure the length of each to the nearest ½ and ¼ inch. Okay, so if I look at this and I measure it to the nearest half, that would be right here. So that would be 1 1/2. So that would be 1 1/2. And to the nearest ¼ inch, it would be closest to this one here, which would be 1 3/4. So 1 3/4. Because 3/4 is right here, 1/4 is right here, so half is here, 3/4 is closer. So let's measure this goldfish now. It's exactly 2 1/2, so I'm going to write 2 1/2 here. And what one, you could go either way for this. You could say 2 1/4, or you could say 2 3/4. I'm just going to say 2 1/4. I'll also say 2 3/4, because either one is fine. All right, so now it says find the length of each object the nearest ½ inch, the width of a book. So how am I going to figure out the width of a book? Well, what I can do is I can actually look at this book, and I can measure the spine here, and that would give me the width of the book to the nearest ½ inch and ¼ inch. Length of a pencil, I can take my pencil and I can measure my pencil and find the length of it. Width of a calculator, if you don't have a calculator, pick up a phone, pick up something, and just kind of measure its width. Length of a tape dispenser. I don't have a tape dispenser. So for 8 and 9, if you don't have a calculator, you can cross this off and put something else, and here you can cross this off and put something else. Those are not common things that you might have at home. I realize that, several years ago they would have been. Now they're not. And then at the end, 10, 11, and 12. Let me make sure that's part of today's assignment. It is. It says draw the line segment using the following length. So this says 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to start here at 0. Here's 1 and here's 1/4, and then I'm just going to draw a line here. And then the way you label a line segment is you just put 1 and 1/4 like that. Okay, and you're going to do that with the rest of the page. Ready, set, go.